Hello and welcome to another Traveler First Glimpse video. I'm going to show you a haul that I just got this week from Mongoose, but I'm going to showcase one book in particular. Everything else here is not new, but one book is new. So I got a few adventures. This basically completes my collection of the single adventures. I've got the Deneb Adventure 1, The Lost Duke. This retails for $19.99, comes in at about 40 pages. I think this is an older adventure. In fact, as far as I know, there are no other Deneb adventures from Mongoose set in here, so there may be more to come here. But this looks like could be potentially a fun adventure. The planet of Brufort has always managed to remain under the radar of charted space at large. The mining companies support their workers as they bring up bountiful hauls of precious Zukai crystals. And despite the presence of dangerous fauna, the people were happy. That happiness would not last. Sounds like that could be a great hook for an adventure. I've also got core adventure number 3, Errant Lightning. And this one retails, again, for $19.99. Comes in at 48 pages. I don't want to show off too much of this, too many spoilers, but I don't do a lot in the core, but again, completing the collection. This one looks like from the sea grows the clench, a writhing mass of plant life that extends far into the desert, providing life-giving crops for this world's 6 million people. But the clench is dying, and you need to find some psionic exiles living in the deep desert. So definitely sounds like that cool. Could be very cool. It's got some new psionic talents, which I don't really play with psionics, but it's nice to have. And a tilt rotor aircraft. That sounds pretty cool. Then I've got the Solomani Adventure number 2, the Bell of Rocamadour. I don't know how you say that. Probably Rocamadour. And this is, again, $19.99, 40 pages. In this one, looks like it's a backwater. You're hired to transport a bell and a renowned uplifted ape construction crew. So, oh, sweet. This has, well, it's got like some sort of dinosaur-looking creature, but this has, uplifted apes. Look at that. If you're into Planet of the Apes, want to play something like that, here's your adventure right there. I also picked up The Glorious Empire. This is not to be confused with a book about the Third Imperium. This is nothing to do with that. This is an area kind of in the Trojan Reach. It's an Aslan splinter state in the Trojan Reach that engages in the forbidden practice of slavery. And so this is a campaign book for that area. This retails for $49.99 and comes in at about 160 pages, looks like. 160 pages. I'm going to be doing I'm currently doing some stuff in the Trojan Reach and will likely be doing more, so I figured I would grab this. I also really like the author of this book. This is Chris Griffin, and he is doing the up-and-coming Singularity campaign, so I wanted to get more of his writing. But this is the one we're here to see. We'll get the glare off there. Clans of the Aslan. This one comes in at $49.99, and if you order these from Mongoose, you do get the PDF for free. The Aslan, no emperor, no moot, no grand fleet, no central government of any kind. Their society is founded upon Aslan families and the intricate interrelationships knitting them together. These families form larger prides, and these prides form even larger clans, over 4,000 in number and bound by common heritage and tradition. An Aslan's allegiance is to their clan lord and the clan that he leads. Explore the inner workings of a clan, learn about the secret warrior schools, and see what life inside the Aslan Hirate is really like. Insights rarely granted to outsiders. Clans of the Aslan provides tips and ideas on running a campaign set amongst the Aslan, along with new options for creating and playing Aslan travelers. Furthermore, Clans of the Aslan provides rules for creating and running your own clans, as well as descriptions of important Aslan clans and worlds drawn from across charted space. So I have never run or even created an Aslan traveler. Aslan in my games thus far are kind of window dressing. My players or myself, we've never really had any significant encounters other than, oh, look at those tall feline warriors. Those must be Aslan. Let's stay out of their way. But, you know, I'm open to learning what I can about them because they are a really cool component of the Traveler universe. So let's take a look. So, again, $49.99, 184 pages. Let's flip through. And this is written by Randy Dorman. Already love the artwork. That is really fantastic. So some info on Aslan campaigns. You could do the Landhold, the Company, In Search of New Lands, the Outsiders, the Human Aslan. That's interesting. An Imperial Traveler on Kuzu. And then this is cool. So Aslan names can be tricky, and this gives you some ideas for how to shorten it or make it easier. Basically nicknames for long, difficult to pronounce Aslan names. Trolk is the language that the Aslan use, and this gives you some examples on how to pronounce these. And they offer like the read aloud. So this, if I was to try and pronounce this, Hetauku Toril, this is Hayat Octural. So much easier. Heya Octural. But then this could be further shortened to simply Htaok, Hayadak. So Hayadak is really easy. So it simplifies those difficult names. Then here's some examples. So this Huekahiast could be which means the hunter of meat. You might just call him Hunter. Or here's someone that means star cloud climber, you just would call Star. And so that you could simplify it and make it easy. It's a great thing. That's what I would do just because the names are so hard to say. I would occasionally tie into that full regal name, but I would definitely stick with a nickname for that. And then there are rules to create Aslans in numerous places. In the core rules, in the Aliens of Charted Space, Volume 1, I believe, has rules, and here are some additional ones. Again, I've never made one. Oh, it's also Pirates of Dranax has information on that. I've never made one, but I'm definitely keen to try. And one of the big things is you could use social as a skill, or you can also use territory can be a skill. Kind of like how Vargr, you can use social, or I think it's charisma for Vargr. That has to do with like how they fit within the pack. Same with this. You know, what are your holdings as an Aslan? As an Aslan, you also have the Dew Claw that you can fight with, feared hand-to-hand warrior there. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so here's Soch and Ter or Tur in play, whether you're using the social skill or the territory. Cool. So depending on like if your territory changes or if you marry, that's going to adjust your rank as well. Here's information. Oops, I skipped a page on the clan. Then here we jump into, not a fan of that. I get where they're going. Just, you know, you can't please everyone. It looks a little too human-y, I think, for me. The nose and the eyes, but you know, just personal preference. This is the background if you want to create your own Aslan, your pre-education. You got your life events. Here is an ambassador to the Aslan. That's cool. Benefits, kinships. Very cool. And then you get into the specific skills, combat weapons. Excellent artwork on the weapons. Female artillery. Ooh, Aslan diseases. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Aslan, you have to add some sort of enzyme to their food to eat non-Aslan food. I could be totally misremembering that, but I think that's the case. Again, I'm not super familiar with Aslan, but I'm hoping to change that. Psionic Aslan. That is awesome. I love that. The Riftliner, 10,000 ton ship. Really cool high guard section here. And then we get into the Hierit. You're broken into families, prides, clans, Aslan corporations. Then here we are, the different clans, major, minor, vassals, a whole list of clans. So you could really dig deep into this if you want to have an Aslan campaign, or if you are playing an Aslan and you want to really jump into the culture. This has everything that you would need for that. And then here's the Glorious Empire, which we just looked at a second ago, or didn't really look through it, but just saw it. Very cool. A lot of information here. And then to create your own clans, which, the first time I do an Aslan, I'd probably make him or her part of an existing clan, but at some point, if I'm into it, I would definitely want to make my own clan. Traveler's a game of making your own ships and vehicles and robots and worlds and subsectors and sectors. Make your own Aslan clan, absolutely. And you got everything in here that you would need. Creating an Aslan leader. So here's just like you were choosing a career here, you can make yourself an Aslan leader. And to play a clan. Ah, sweet, the directory of clans. That is really cool. And they even give you the how to pronunciate here. Va'ua'uo. Verekhari. No, Verekheari. Hearl. That's an L, not an I. So correct me if I'm wrong, I could be very wrong, because again, I don't really delve into the Aslan, but I want to say they are, an analog might be like feudal Japan, as far as how things are run. I know that's a gross misrepresentation, but that would be, like if someone were to say, well, what's an Aslan? I would probably say, it's kind of like feudal Japan. It's the way that that culture was. But I don't know that that's 100% accurate. How would you describe Aslan to someone if they were wanting to play? You have the elevator pitch, what's an Aslan? What would you say? Granted, in your Traveler universe will definitely vary from mine, but just curious how you would do that. Here's the Aslan worlds of the Hierit. That's really sweet. And then you've got basically the gazetteer of all the different worlds. Just kind of jump through this. It's a lot of text, and but the art is really, really good in here. Very cool. Some Aslan colonies. Dust spice, a rare euphoric spice used for seasoning food, especially fruit. The ihate. Now, the ihate is second-born sons, I think. Again, correct me if I'm incorrect there. I believe that the Ihate is the second sons. Well, I say that, then it says he's the firstborn son. So what do I know? Okay. Well, I stand corrected then. Maybe it's firstborn sons. I thought it was the second sons. Again, I'm hoping to learn these things through here. Excellent glossary and reference here. Seeing if this has Ihate, and it does not. Oh, there it is. Ihate is a male Aslan not in line to inherit land. So maybe that's why. Oh, yeah, literally second son. Okay. Huh. Take that. So, yeah, the Ihate, that was like the one thing I knew. And or thought I knew, but turns out I was correct. So, excellent. Very cool. Oh, you even get Aslan timekeeping and weights and measures. Very, very cool flavor to add to a game. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of Aslan. Are they part of your game? Are they an integral part or a big part? Or are they just kind of window dressing in the background, which is sort of how I've run them, but I'd like to change that, I think. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you soon.